Norman is live. How dare he?
Get your cables set, rig your hoist, and bring that mammoth to the hole! Faster, faster, faster! We can't wait all night!
This joke's on you, Riddler.
When's a donkey spelled with one letter? When it's you!
A Trojan mammoth? Get them, boys. Get them, or it's curtains!
Back, Batman, back!
If this gas ignites, it'll blow you to kingdom come, you venal viper.
Streets of Brooklyn, we was rocking the same funky fresh rhymes with a comic book scene. Indie comic books, our obsession grew from Marvel to DC. We knew what to do, we were the kings. Flipping through those pages, superheroes and villains, they were our saviors. From Spider-Man to Watchmen, we had it all. Comic book collectors, standing tall. We're the comic book kings, rocking the hip-hop scene. Flipping through the pages, living our dreams. From indie comic books to the mainstream. We're the comic book kings, it's our reign. We're the comic book kings, rocking the hip-hop scene. Flipping through the pages, living our dreams. From indie comic books to the mainstream. We're the comic book kings, it's our reign.
You think of that shit, huh? Huh?
What just happened?
Well, being the big time production that this is, I ran into a couple of starving young hip hop artists, and they decided to do a theme song for our show. So,
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I was trying
yeah.
to figure out if did you
Yeah.
steal someone's song? I was like, what is happening? There's other comic book nerds and they made a song about it. What is that? That was wild. Man, you got all kinds of things going on. That's crazy.
Actually, it's gonna make me sound like a huge hypocrite, but
Oh, is it what I thought it was?
there's this site called Suno that you probably already know about that creates music from AI. And I heard about it. And I heard about it from Penguenzo, Charlie Penguenzo, the guy who's popular as hell on YouTube. And I went there and it's like made a song like that. Like, okay. I know it's makes me sound like a complete hypocrite, but I'll take it for free. If I can afford
for the hip hop artists, and I said nothing.
Exactly.
And then they came for the artists.
Yes.
And there was no one left to say anything.
Left but me. Oh my God. I know, man. I know. That was all that shit I talk about AI.
That was crazy though. That's amazing that you can do that much. I actually didn't know the website. What is the website again?
Suno, SUNO. You just have to
it wrote the lyrics and everything. It did the whole shebang.
I don't know how they do for Chat GPT, but all I have to do is give them a prompt. Give me a 90s hip hop song with comic about indie comic books. Make it happen, and it came up with that. So yes,
wow.
mention Marvel and DC in there, but I got two versions. I got 2 versions. I got another version I'll play next week. So yeah, so
we'll see what the comic book community thinks about the hypocrisy that is on display here today. We've got
hypocrisy.
We've got the lovely Miss Janet here. Hopefully she's not too ashamed of this display here today. We've also got James Lang in the house. What up, James? Thanks for joining us. My homie Wellbore was hanging out with us last night, back with me for 2 nights in a row here with Lorenzo. Excited to see you, my man.
Welcome, my friend.
Happy birthday to Wellbore. I don't think it's birthday. It's near, it's close. It is upon us. So happy birthday, homie. Everybody shout out. And then we've got I say D'Artagnan, but
yes.
We were talking backstage. We were having a discussion about the pronunciation. Lorenzo says
D'Artagnan, as in the 3 Musketeers. So which one of us is right? So we'll see.
So you tell us so we can pronounce your name in Mojo. If you're
Mojo?
out there, is it Mojo?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Mojito?
Yes.
Or is it Mojo like I say it? So have I been screwing your name? We're trying to clean everybody's names up. While we're at it, Debuzo. I always going with Debuzo. How am I doing on the pronunciation of that one?
All right, got one right.
So what up to D'Artagnan or D'Artagnan?
3 Musketeers. Thank you, sir. Okay.
So it's D'Artagnan. Yes. I'm the loser. Dang it.
But you knew a guy named D'Artagnan. That's why we just thought of that. So yeah.
I was saying backstage they used to call him Saget because he had a scar like Saget from Street Fighter 2, and that went right over Lorenzo's head.
I know.
We've got 80s guy in the house. What up, 80s guy? Good to see you, my man.
Yes, sir.
Captain Hardluck is here with us. Good to see you, homie. Debuzo, as I mentioned earlier. Hopefully, I'm saying that name all right. Hopefully, we're not doing that. We've got the man, Larry Love, or as some might say,
you just can't go wrong with Larry Love. It's time for tea.
What up, Larry Love, with the quiet storm?
Yes, sir.
We got Larry in the house. What's up, Larry? Always good to see you. Oh, and we got Brian LCS, the man, the myth, the legend behind the CBC Awards. Everybody be ready to gear up in June to vote for Lorenzo once again for the best reviewer. Make sure he's on that stage again every year like he should be. So what up to Brian? Thanks for joining us. We've also got the man, Phil's Treehouse, who's back with the Treehouse Sort on Sunday. So check his channel out for some hangouts and some discussions about how we sort our comics, which is actually interesting to see how everybody does it. So check my man out. We got Terry Floyd in the house. I thought it was AI-rific.
It's AI-rific.
We got Damien. Damien's probably disappointed in you with your AI treachery.
I know. I can't help it. I can't help it. I've fallen in line. I've complied. So if they get me, then I've got nothing to complain about. So I didn't defend anyone else.
You know, there's people who are mad about AI, but AI seems to be pretty inevitable. And they say that you're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to someone using AI. So
it makes me feel a lot better.
I think you should be familiar. Even though you might be against it, it's a good idea to be familiar with it and how it works, because there's a good chance it's our future. They're saying that this is going to be like the Industrial Revolution, but instead of a revolution over a period of time, it's going to be like that. I'm already seeing McDonald's with AI taking my order here.
Oh my God.
It's happening very quickly.
And I don't go to those places that often, so I was in McDonald's for some, it's a Taco Bell maybe, but they're all doing it. And you don't interact with a person at first. You got to go to the kiosk. Why don't anybody come take my order? Like, they're going to the kiosk like, oh, they know what the deal is. So they go to the kiosk.
Andrew Yang, if y'all recall, Andrew Yang ran for president in 2016, and he talked about a universal basic income and how, at some point we were going to have to do something like that. And AI is making him look a little prophetic. We'll see how it goes, but they're making it seem like a lot of jobs are going to be lost to AI. And what are those people going to do? It makes me think of the book, getting back to indie comics, from AWA, not all robots, which I think that's such a great book. And I really need to go back and read Not All Robots from Mark Russell. It's such a great book, but it's a future where humans have pretty much trashed the world. It's a dystopian world from our, climate change and all the things we didn't care about or do anything about. And so AI robots have taken over the world. So they manage our atmosphere, and AI does, the robots do all of the stuff that we need to be done, so much so that instead of having a job, the robots have the jobs, and the robots have a family assigned to them. And so the robot comes home every day to his human family, and it's a weird dynamic. There's there's a family that they kind of spotlight in that book that has some really interesting dynamics that you can draw parallels really to today. So I love that book. If you haven't read Not All Robots, I can't recommend it enough. And man, it does seem to maybe have been prophetic, man. It might be our future.
Absolutely, man. I mean, whether we like it or not, I don't necessarily like it, even though we had a little fun with it just now. It's here. It's here. It ain't going away. It's
here. Tell me what you. I had this thought, and tell me what you think about it. Is you've been reading the Batman, right? The current Batman with Failsafe, and you have this.
Yep.
And you have this setup where Failsafe is Zurin Ra or whatever in it, and controlling the robot. And Damien thinks that it's actually Damien. He thinks it's Bruce, just transferred his mind to this robot. And so he's rolling with Failsafe because he thinks it's Bruce, even though it's not Bruce. But But what that book made me start thinking about is, what if, like, in the Matrix, how humans are all batteries and the robots run the world. But what if AI never quite reaches that spot where it can work independently like that? And what those robots are is not AI, but actual humans who decided they wanted to be immortal. And so they transferred their mind to the robot, like Failsafe, and so that they could live forever. But of course, that eliminates humanity because they're not going to be able to create more humans, at least in their line, because they're robots now. And so really, it's not robots farming these humans. It's humans who turned their backs on humanity and became robots so they could be immortal. I thought that was an interesting book. Somebody write it. Give me credit for it. Let's go.
That's even more scary. Wow, that's awesome.
It is, isn't it? It makes it more scary.
Yeah.
To think that it's humans doing it to humans. Like, that makes it another level of creepy, man. Somebody write that.
Hey, Matt Spidey, thanks for stopping in.
But if Sleepy, it is attempting, Sleepy, but you are turning your back on humanity, on all of it. I mean, I guess maybe you could be an ally, but that decision in and of itself is a rejection of human life. It's a rejection.
It sounds like something some megalomaniac billionaire would do, like, where would we find one of those? No, you throw a rock and hit one, probably. They're everywhere. Yeah, that does sound like a very scary reality.
And it may sound like science fiction to you, but it seems to me the things that they're talking about in the Matrix, where you can basically transfer stuff into your brain, they're getting to the point where they can read your brain like a digital chip. That is happening with mice already, like where they'll have a mouse do a maze, they'll record the brain patterns of that mouse and try and transfer it to another mouse, and that mouse will immediately know the maze because of the brain transfer that they did. So they're already working in this technology. It's very much within the realm of possibility that at some point we choose immortality via robots and we reject humanity. So I was thinking about that reading Batman, and I thought it was kind of crazy.
Man, I think you should hire an artist and get to work on that right away. That's a great idea, sir. Man, I got so many comic books. I know you got a bunch too, but I just broke the bank this week. A whole bunch of comic books. So I'm just going to get started with I got Willie. Man, I know you're out there somewhere, brother. Willie sent me I hadn't checked my box in a while, so I had to go to check the box, and guess what I found from...
Don't do it, man. Not with that money.
I told you he probably sent you something.
Yeah, he did. And I got something for you too. Man, talk about and he appears there. What's up? What's up?
There it is. Wellbore's birthday.
Wellbore. Wish him a happy B-Day. And as far as finding that Maui Mighty Comics, I got you covered, my brother. It'll be coming your way very soon. So I can pick up the Mighty Maui Comics from Shop, had an extra copy, picked it up. It's going to be coming to you. All right.
Indie certified.
Indie certified. He gave me some stuff. It was Willie certified too. You'll see that in a minute. Incredible Hulk from not from my comic shop, from Mighty Marvel. One of my favorite Marvel books I'm reading right now. And into the Ultimate Verse, Ultimate X-Men #2, first appearance of Maystorm. This is going to be a thing.
I heard that series picks up in that issue.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was getting there in the first issue, but I can't wait to read the second issue. Got the I think C cover or B cover, I forget which. Let's call it the B cover. We kind of liked this one last week. And third printing of Ultimate Black Panther #1. Also looks like a peach cover. Yeah, it's another peach cover. Man, she's working hard, making lots of stuff.
Oh, it's also Willie's birthday on Friday. Happy birthday to the homie. That's what's up.
Oh my God.
The big 5'4", baby.
ERP forever. Yeah, man. In that same club. ERP. It's really just an insurance company. They make you think that they're taking care of, like, senior citizens.
When are you?
They take your cheese.
AARP? Well, how old do I have to be AARP, you think?
Like I say, it's basically an insurance company. It's not like Social Security. We have to be like 63 to start, receiving it. I'm not sure, but they start sending you the material as soon as you get around 50. They start sending, hey, here's some stuff.
All right, so I got some time before I'm AARP.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll know when they contact you. You'll know. They'll find you. They'll find you, exactly. Third printing, I want to say fourth printing. My goodness, of Ultimate Spider-Man #1. So I'm picking them up because you never know, man. You never know. Oh, there's our guy. PN Comedy. Hey, what's up, sir?
What up, homie?
How are you?
Happy New Comic Book Day.
The funniest man in comics. He's literally a comic. And that's all for the Marvel. And speaking of Batman, the first night, since it doesn't fit, I forgot to get a bag for it too. I always forget to get a magazine bag for it, but I'll get a couple of them next week. So
I don't want to spoil too much for that one, but they're going to the Batman with the gun question, which I really like.
I know. I think Mark brought it up last night on your show, but that's a thing. That's the thing that a lot of people don't know about, is that Batman was packing a rod back in the early days. And it's great that they visit that, because there goes to the 30s, late 30s. Not a lot of technology. Just the old standby, man. The gun.
Wow, the wife picked his books up. My wife would never.
See. Man, me and this man got lucky, I mean, I'm saying you didn't get lucky too, but our wives are very understanding.
I did okay.
You did okay. I mean, we just got these women who are just exceptionally accepting of our hobby, and that's something you don't see every day. Let me tell you. Yes. Only copy of this book in the store, Rat City. I hope this is good. It looks fantastic. This is the only Spawn book except Sam and Twitch, the only one that doesn't have Spawn in the title. So, man, I got high hopes for this. This could be a review thing next week. We'll see. Let's see. What's the first book I have?
I have a book from 1940 something. That might be it. Classic Illustrated, Robinson Crusoe.
What's the rarest book? Most valuable or rare? I don't know. I have Doctor Strange, or Strange Tales, where it becomes Doctor Strange. And I have that. That's not super rare, but it's probably one of my most valuable. What else? That might be it. Oh, First Appearance of Black Panther, FF53. So I don't know. I don't have anything super like a golden age key or anything like that. I wish I did, but those are like I have that too. But yours is much nicer. Yours. Hang on. Let me bring that into focus here.
Well, this is kind of I mean, it's not super rare, but it's kind of rare, right?
It is. I mean, that's one era when they were changing Tales of Suspense over to Captain America and Strange Tales over to Doctor Strange. And the other one was Tales to Astonish into Submariner and so forth. So yeah, so that's probably what we got. Wish I had something more rare, but that's it.
I'm eventually gonna get that one cleaned and pressed and stuff. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, you should. I mean, that's still a key. That's a huge key. Huge key. Hey, Chris Gibson. Greetings and salutations. All right, let me steal the spotlight back from my comic son here. The 53. Yeah, the 53 is kind of pricey and super high grade. I guess even in mid grade, it's kind of nice. Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of lucky to have that. But not like the Golden Age Guru, who knows all these other great books. Nothing like that.
don't compare yourself to him. That is not the way to go.
Oh, that's a race I lose right away. There's no comparison. Yep. First Appearance of Sinestro. Ooh, that's pretty. I don't know much about Green Lantern, but that's got to be a very, very pricey book. DC, the original universe. Yeah. All right. Napalm Lullaby, number 2 by Rick Remender, or perhaps you say Remender. No one says it. Remender, yes. Don't make me mix it up. Yeah. So the first one was pretty good. I'm hoping this one tells a little bit more about who this god is that they're worshiping. I'm thinking it's probably that little baby they rescued, Superman style, from the rocket.
Yeah, I think that it says that in the synopsis, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to get this book, the number 1. I tried to get the number 1 for this book and jump in, but it was sold out.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, I wanted to jump in. It sounded cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that it sold out. Man, maybe it's popular. Maybe it's low-key popular. But it was a pretty good story. Let's see if I can find a copy for you.
He probably didn't buy that many, honestly. It's probably what it
was. Terry Floyd says, good copy of NFL Super Pro 1. That's a video game, I'm guessing, right?
My copy's not mint, though, I would say. I do have the Super Bowl edition, which is the first appearance of Super Pro. That is a book that I love to joke about, and I will never leave it sitting in a cheap bin. Never.
Wow. That sounds like I thought that was a video game. That's how little I know. And it's like, Super Bowl.
No, it's a book, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense because they did make those kind of books like wrestling and sports and stuff like that too. There's some questions for you.
I have not read it yet, but because I'm trying to get all of it so I can catch up. But I'm definitely going to read it because the hype is real for that one. People who don't like anything like that book, they rave about. People who don't rave about books don't ever cheer about books or cheering about that book. So.
Wow.
I'm definitely going to be reading that one. The hype is real.
It is real, sir. It is real. Phantom Road, this strange journey through this desolate landscape between this truck driver and this woman that trying to survive these zombies. Strange book, very entertaining. Jeff Lemire.
You went with the B, huh?
Yeah, that's what they gave me. Sometimes they just give me. I didn't think to check the racks. And like, it's in my file. I'll take it. Because it makes sense because all the rest of them look different. I've been stacking the A from the beginning, but that ruins my continuity. I hate that.
Yeah, I'm anal about it. Like, for some reason, it clicked into me where like no matter what, if I'm collecting it, I have to have the A cover. Like, so I'm not the person that will buy the B and then I'm just good with it. If I'm gonna buy the B, I'm buying the A and the B. I never just buy. I don't know why I decided that, but I did.
Yeah. I usually try to keep that continuity too. Yeah, I think that's the one that I bought too. I bought it from FOC Comics. That foil cover for Beneath the Trees. Yeah, and I got it signed by Horvath. So that's pretty cool. Get that baby graded. That's headed for CBCS, baby. Scotty,
actually,
my
CGC,
other comic son, what's happening, my friend? Is your comic brothers here? Say hello to this man.
Just bought that authentication company, so they're going to be offering the service as well. And at this point, there's really no reason to go to CBCS because they're slower and they're not as, they're slab sell for less. CBCS is losing the game. I know you like to support the underdog, but they've lost the game at this point.
They lost the game already. I mean, you've given up on them already. The ones I get slab, usually not for resale, the ones I get slab are for my collection. So I don't really care. And I think that they do better work, actually.
So that would be one reason to not worry about it, because part of the problem with CBCS is that they're naturally just worth less if you are thinking about ever selling them for value. But the other problem is that CGC is just way faster. You still have to wait absorbent. You have to wait for exorbitant wait times for CBCS, whereas CGC is turning these things around in a month and a half. So. Well,
maybe now, but there was at one point my last shipment that I sent to them, I got like 6 weeks. I don't know. It may be backlogged now, but maybe that means because they're getting busier, not just because they're worse. I don't think it's because they're bad.
This is Ecamm all over again. This is what this is.
You're just shilling for the big guys.
All over again.
I
was right about Ecamm, and I'm right about this.
You're not right about Ecamm. Ecamm just didn't work for me.
No, here we go again.
I have a slow computer. I have a bad connection. And that's why it didn't work for me. Otherwise, it'd been fine. If I'd been in the city with a new computer, it'd have been fine.
So the point, though, is that Ecamm did not work for you, and StreamYard is.
StreamYard is faster because it's not based on my computer. But StreamYard also, that's why it takes me longer to get to the drops and other things, because it's so linear. Everything is under that brand label, whereas Ecamm, it had palettes like Photoshop. I could go right to stuff. It's like it's just great. You laughing at this? It's true. It's true.
It's part of your DNA. It's part of your DNA. It really
maybe, but those are facts. Those are facts. I mean, and I don't think CBCS will be going away, because Beckett, who grades sports cards and shit, owns CBCS.
No, so I don't mean around. I'm not saying they're going away. I'm just saying they lost. They lost the game.
You already declared the game over.
No, what I mean to say is there were multiple moments where they had windows and opportunities to really gain market share and be a rival to CGC, and I think that window is closed now. I don't think they can do that anymore.
All right,
that's all. That's all we can.
All right, we can disagree or disagree then. All right, so if I want a higher grade, yeah, and CBCS, I think if I want a higher grade, cheaper, yeah, because I think they just do a better job grading. I mean, their encapsulation process is better. CGC was the first, so it's like Coke versus Pepsi. They're going to have more money, they're going to have more loyalty, because people love to go with the big guy. Hey, I'm with the big guy, so that's fine. I'm not knocking CGC. I get them mixed up, but I still own CBCS and CGC books. So
yeah, me too. I don't. If I'm gonna buy a slab, most people will buy the CGC, but I will buy the CBCS because you're gonna get a just fine book, and it's gonna be naturally cheaper. And when I buy a slab, I'm buying it for my PC, so I don't care about resale value whatsoever. So
same here.
These books right here are CBCS books because they were cheaper. So I'm not slamming CBCS. I'm just reading the lay of the land. That's all.
I hear you. Because all the books I graded can be in my personal collection, and then someday, let's be real, in my estate sale. So let's just, this just doesn't really matter, how much other people want them. So they're pretty much all for me anyway.
It's as Stan Lee said, it's whoever the writer wants to win is going to win. But the real answer is Erica Slaughter would slaughter any of Lorenzo's favorite characters.
You don't say.
She would gut them flawlessly and effortlessly.
I doubt that seriously. She could beat Batman.
Batman would have a chance.
Well, you had John Stout.
Rude.
Well, yeah, John Stout.
There's Mojo. There's
Mojo. Now we can ask Mojo.
Is it Moho or is it Mojo? Moho or Mojo? You tell us. We're trying to correct our pronunciation of names today.
All right, trying to get all these incredible amount of books here so we can get to our guests. Transformers number 7. This is the first one by Jorge Corona, one of my favorite artists. Still written by Daniel Warren Johnson, though. Nottingham number 11. Arc number 3. Number 3 for Nottingham. Yes. I got to catch up with number 2 first.
We were talking about this earlier today on with Trev, the shipping guru, and I was asking, why is the hype for Nottingham gone? It's such a cool setup. It's such a great concept of Robin Hood, a concept of Robin Hood that you have not really seen before, a concept that is super optional. You know, I don't know why it wouldn't have already been optioned. So man, get back on Nottingham, guys.
Oh, for Nottingham, because it's in the public domain. That's one good reason. Robin Hood is in the public domain, so they can do whatever they want with that. You know, they don't have to pay anybody any royalties. And it's a good story.
We should write a public domain book. Let's.
I know, Little Red Riding Hood or something. I don't know. It's probably not public domain though.
Everybody's doing Mickey Mouse.
Early Mickey Mouse, only early Mickey Mouse, right?
Yeah.
Dungeons Dark Spaces dungeon, I think number 5 could be the last one in this series about this people being kept in dungeons and horrible things happening to them. Night People number 2, which was very David Lynchian Twin Peaksy. I can't wait to see what this is going to be like, because it was totally like 4 different storylines going at the same time. Weird shit happening. Love this kind of stuff.
The Oni Press out here doing it.
From Oni Press. And talking about that hot book that everybody loves, Beneath the Trees number 5. Oh my God, if you read number 4, oh, shit was happening number 4. Can't wait to see that.
That cover is messed up.
Yeah, isn't it though?
Dexter, what is it? Dexter meets DuckTales or something? What do they say?
Dexter meets DuckTales. I love that. House of Slaughter number 22. I want to see what's happening. I've read number 21 about 6 times. I don't know why. Maybe just like stalling to, push it down the road or whatever. But I want to see what happens here, because I'm rooting for Jace despite what Marcus says. I know her. Erica's the woman.
I'm not rooting against Jace. I just I don't care if he dies. I'm not.
Jace could just die and go to hell. I don't care.
I ain't worried about Jace as long as Erica's okay.
She'll be fine. Uncanny Valley, last week's penultimate book. I've already read this. I will withhold all comment until I do a review on it, hopefully next week. But
I've heard people rave about this style. It's one artist, but it looks very different art when you switch from real world to the cartoon world.
Yes.
I guess it's done really well. So I'm looking for. I bought this one as well. Looking forward to reading it.
Oh, you read this too? Okay. Yeah, so you know what's up. You know what's up, Scotty. And the last one is the eBay buy, but this is something that Willie and I have been talking about for a long time. You too, probably, Marcus, is Philadelphia number 1. This can be had. I got 2 copies. This is the nicest one. All of them are like around $20 with shipping on eBay. But that's going to go up as soon as this thing hits HBO or Max, whatever they're calling it now.
Is it optioned? Is it optioned?
I want to say it is. I think it is. If not, it should be. I think it is though already.
Well, I've been seeing what's the author's name?
Rodney Barnes.
I've been seeing a lot of Hollywood stuff on Instagram, so he seems to be pretty connected.
Rodney Barnes he's connected. He's a very good writer too. Yeah, listen to him, man. Jump on it.
I have the trays and I started it, but I got lazy on it. So that one and Preacher too. I've got to get back to Preacher. So yeah, I got to get focused. Definitely.
All right. So I'm just kicking around the screen here. There's no earthquake happening, folks. It's just me. My good friend Jack from Staple Spine and Staple Sounds on the radio on X-Ray FM sent me the latest, not the latest, but a very recent issue of the Staple Spine fanzine, of which he is the publisher and the hardest working man in zines. Oh man, he's got such good stuff in here. Check out this guy, staplespine.com, and then go to X-Ray FM and check out his show, Staple Sounds. You are the Stapled Hounds. He is the Staple Sounds. All right, and what else? Willie sent me a stack of stuff. Tox number 1 is the one I've been looking for a while. this pregnant woman in a vast wasteland here.
That's a Willie book to be sure.
For sure. Me too. Titan Mouse of Might. I believe I read this one already, but thank you. I appreciate you sending me this one. This is like a Mighty Mouse Batman mashup kind of a thing here. It's pretty funny. This is one I really been looking for and had not been able to find. Was 7 Years in Darkness. Or man, this is from your favorite guy. Should show some Smokey. Actually, Smokey was not the he's not the guy who did the Follow Me into the Darkness. He's a different person, but he was formerly head of Scouts. Was it the Dark Caravan or Black Caravan thing, which has now just been blended into Scout, I guess. But this is the book I've been looking for quite some time.
All right, Willie is going to bed. Thanks for hanging out, Willie. We appreciate you, brother.
Good to see you, brother.
We got Real Rude sneaking in.
See, Real Rude. Now, see, I have to go from this to that just to hit Rude's thing here because it's so linear. It's so linear. I can't just click right on it.
Weed every day.
Yeah, but
it chops it off sometimes. You know?
Yeah, but we don't.
There we go.
Yeah, but we don't crash every stream, so we got that going for us.
It's not the fault of the program. It's my fault.
We also got Kevin.
Not my fault.
We got Kevin from Entropy and Comics in the house. What's
Blame
up,
yourself.
Thanks for joining us.
I blame myself.
Good to see you, Entropy.
Entropy and Comics.
Mojo says Tony Fleece coming to town.
Well, look at that. You're hanging out with Tony Fleece. Nice. Did he really? He did shoes. That's awesome. Oh man, will do, brother. Will do. And Rude, man, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. Saw you over there at on the drawing show with Roscoe the other night. That was fun with David Nakayama. Even if he hadn't showed up, I was having a blast. I never finished my drawing either. I'm such a slow drawer. I got to finish it and post it on Instagram, but I was having fun drawing it. This is one Willie approved, definitely Willie approved, is Vengeance is for the Living. This is the one I think you got this one also. This is a Floating World comic. Yeah, this looks Floating World comics have been really good. Some have been kind of disturbing, some have been really funny, like Santos Sisters, but they've been very, very well made. And this one, man, I can't wait to see what's up with this one. This is also Willie approved. This is like one of those children's golden books. Michael Mouse. Yeah, I know, man. This has got to be some probably like dwellings, dwellings like just like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, Roscoe, man. I'm gonna try to make as many times as I can. I know I'm doing prep and stuff. I'm gonna try to make that show every week. It's a great show. Y'all have some fun.
We need to get you on the show.
I gotta do my time first, man. I gotta just jump off the show.
Sure you can. I know some people, dog. I know people. I can get you in.
I know somebody can pull some strings for you.
I mean, if they let me on, they'll let anybody.
Night Cruising, man. I think I've reviewed this one already. This is kind of a dark. Oh yeah,
but I couldn't find it. Yeah, that one sounded fun.
Did you never get this one?
No, I couldn't find it. Well, I can't find Floating World comics. Okay. They're very difficult to find.
Yeah. I have an extra copy, so I may sing this copy. So it circles around. It circulates, like currency should.
Right. We got my drinking homie Pocan Joe in the
Pocan Joe.
Can't wait to see you in Charlotte at Heroes Con. It's gonna be a blast. Anybody in the Charlotte area in June, Father's Day weekend, definitely come see us. Can't wait.
What what is this actually? This is so funny. I don't know what this is. All-time comics, I guess. Like somebody bludgeoning the hell out of someone here. Man, can't wait to read it. It's right up my alley. I know. All right, coming down to the end here. And that's number one. We talked about Statics a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, I know. And this is like Statics number one. So Willie, man, this guy just takes care of a brother. And I love you so much, man. Thank you for sending me this stuff. And now we've got a special guest on the Artist Alley segment. His name is Jacob Michael Campbell. And he has this strip that's on Instagram. And he's got a Kickstarter for number 2. He's already done number 1. Got a Kickstarter for live right now for number 2 of his comic called Toe and So Long. So I'm going to bring Joseph on right now, and here he is. Oh, Jacob, I'm sorry. Jesus.
No, it's funny. Joseph was my father's name, so close enough. Joseph Campbell, writing a lot about like story and mythos and stuff like that. So very different. But thanks for having me on.
Oh, thanks for coming on. All right. So tell us a little bit about your strip, Toe and So Long.
So Toe and So Long is something I was working on from, I think, maybe like 2018, and finally released the first issue at the beginning of this year. So it's been a grind to get that first issue developed and out. It's actually my first comic book, but I'm fairly proud of it. The response has been good. It's basically a buddy portal fiction where these two characters sort of roam what's called the endless plane of doors, and they go to infinite situations, and you're kind of joining them towards the end of it, where they've, the trope is these characters in these adventures where they go to like world of the week. It's, you start out and then they find the portals and then they start going through them. Here we kind of catch up with them towards the end of it, and we're kind of dissecting the genre and kind of looking into indecision and a lot of different themes that I think are important for kids. This is supposed to be readable for kids, but I want it to be maybe secretly heady enough for adults to tap into as well. So it's been great. We're about 67% of the way there on this Kickstarter. Last Kickstarter we did well, so raised over $1,000, and just really proud of this project so far, and the response has been really great.
Man, that's awesome. The link is in the chat, and the link is also down in the description below. That's so interesting, that that concept, man. I don't know if anyone else has had this, probably, but I have dreams where I go through doors and there's like another door, there's another room, and there's another door. What was the inspiration? I should say. I can't speak for you.
Sure. Well, portal fiction, this sort of idea of exploring different portals to different realities, is a thing that's been on my mind, from watching things like Bee and Puppy Cat and even Nightmare Before Christmas. This has gotten called out for Monsters, Inc. Some people have called it out. Some people have been like, you're taking directly from this. But I think it's, doors that go places. It's a pretty open concept, so I can explore different ideas. It's something to latch on to while I take you on a completely different idea. It's a completely different tangent with the writing. Yeah, those people should just chill, man, because every concept has been done before. It's just a question of how this creator is going to approach that concept, and how they're going to make you fall in love with the characters or just accept the world that they built. Yeah, and it's interesting to introduce people to a completely new IP. Actually, just today, 2 videos have been posted onto YouTube giving critiques to the first issue of Toe and So Long. And it's been interesting to hear their takes on the characters and their first impressions, and it's been, first impressions are just so important with characters. And I'm getting across in some ways, but I'm also noticing that this isn't necessarily what your average comic book reader is used to. And I know you guys probably know that comic book readers tend to niche in and kind of grab onto certain ideas. I don't know. Do you find that to be the case?
Yeah, it's very clicky. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in the mainstream universe of comics, but indies too, but especially the mainstream, I say.
Yeah. So, you want to show it to as many people as possible, but in doing that, you're going to show it to people who maybe it's not for, and that's just an interesting thing to kind of navigate and get input. And you kind of got to read between the lines with the input. And so I'm essentially a new comic book artist. I created the idea, did the character designs, did the layouts. I pass it off to an illustrator for inking, pencils and inks, essentially. And then they turn it back over to me for the color. So, this is my first sort of full project, and I just want to soak in whatever I can, but read between the lines to make sure I'm hitting my vision.
Yeah, so you answered my question. I was going to say, are you the artist and writer? But you just answered that question. Okay, very, very thoroughly. Okay.
Yeah,
So
blended.
yeah, awesome, awesome. That's great to have collaborators like that. I want to ask
the actual. I'll stop. I just want to make it clear that on the new issue number 2, we've got a different artist than on issue number 1. So it's going to have it. It was unfortunate to lose an artist, obviously, but the new relationship is great, and they're tapping into it in their own way. So now I've already seen my idea sort of manifested by 2 different people, and that's been a trip as well.
I know, man. That's great, man. Your idea has come to life, and that's pretty awesome by 2 different artists. So that makes it even nicer. What did you read comics growing up?
So, not to say I'm of the same caliber as Todd McFarlane, but I share a few different things with Todd McFarlane. Firstly, my background is in graphic design. So I've come from a lot of like branding and layouts and things of that nature, which people seem to notice in the comic book, and that's good. I'm very independently minded, and I didn't really tap into comic books so much as a kid. And I think it really had to do with value. You know, I didn't have a lot of spare money lying around when I was a kid. We were a pretty poor family. So video games and just cable anime were where I was getting most of my, you know, it's kind of secondhand comics mythos in a lot of ways, right? Especially with anime coming from manga. So,
sure.
But it was kind of outpricing me. And then I'm also left-handed. So a few different similarities to Todd McFarlane there, but comic books just provided me such an interesting way to tap into storytelling at kind of a nice price point, to put it brutally. Like, I want to tell these bigger stories. I want to illustrate these worlds. I want to do world building, you know, and all of that takes money at different mediums, and comic books just seem like the most feasible way to do it.
That makes sense, because if I wanted to create a property, I would probably start in comics, because you can get that off the ground a lot easier than you could like an animated vehicle or pitching to some company who's going to make a series or something about that subject, about that story that you're doing. So yeah, I think comics are where a lot of the ideas clearly are coming from, for television, you know, for movies, for all kinds of content. Video games is a whole different thing.
Yeah, video games, but they often come from TV series and different IPs that are already existing. That maybe went away for a bit and then came back with the kind of waves in the market. But I also wanted to say that, you know, it's just really important to, I've heard Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane talk about, you know, continuing to make comics and continuing to make these series, and they're really just doing R&D. It seems like comics are where the R&D is still happening for intellectual property. And that, you know, I'd love to shop around my idea, obviously, but the comic book medium has been really fun to learn, and I've grown kind of a love for it in a very specific way. You know, I picked up things like collections of Crazy Cat. You guys familiar with Crazy Cat?
Oh, yeah. Ignatz and Crazy Cats from,
of course,
way back in the day. Yeah.
And that was very early on in developing Toe and So Long. And that really kind of initiated a comics learning journey that unfortunately recently ended, you know, with cartoonist kayfabe and watching a lot of that. So that was sort of a masterclass in comics, and I feel much more connected to the medium right now.
Yeah, that was a pretty deep comic, that Ignatz and Crazy Cats thing, man. I mean, it seems like basic, throws brick, hits cat in the head, and cat stays in love. But there's a lot of stuff going on with that. Somebody wants to look that up. That's kind of a intense strip. It looks simple, but there's a lot more going on.
Yeah, and I take a lot of the prose from that. Like, I love poetry in comic books and the way they talk. And I also really love Leiji Matsumoto. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Yamato, Captain Harlock. I actually go by Captain Hardluck in chat.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was trying to figure out
that now.
That's me. Yeah. And there's Harlock over there. And I actually run the world's largest Leiji Matsumoto fan project as well. So maybe we could talk about that at some point. But yeah, Liegiverse, which is also on YouTube and Facebook. Get my plugs in there. But I've grown a lot more attached to comic books in the last few years. Let's put it that way. I've tried to make it so I know what I'm doing as best as I can.
Oh, cool. Okay. So you seem to have some knowledge of manga and anime, right? So what's your favorite manga or anime?
Yeah, I've really niched down with Matsumoto, so that's where most of my expertise is. Obviously, I have a big love of Matsumoto. My first anime by him was Galaxy Express 39, and we have such a small taste of his manga here that I hesitate to say I have a favorite of his because I know there's so much more to be read. But as far as anime, when I was growing up, I mean, kind of the big space westerns, Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, and Outlaw Star. Absolutely three. And those spaceships. And then, if you look at the Outlaw Star spaceship and you look at Captain Harlock's spaceship, you kind of get to know my taste. So.
Yeah, man. I'm almost embarrassed when I say Cowboy Bebop because that's the only thing I really know in manga. Oh no, show me in anime. I know a few others, but it's like saying, "Oh God, you like Batman or something." It's like the most well-known, but it's such a great series. Yeah. But
as far as comics go, Batman's probably it for me. Like Batman is where I am with DC and Marvel. Everyone else, I'm like, I can take it or leave it. So.
Yeah, that's a good choice, though. I mean, I love Batman. But Cowboy Bebop, man, I thought that was it's just like when I saw Enter the Dragon as my first martial arts movie. I thought they were all like that. Like, oh, This is great. Like, oh, they're not quite the same as this.
Other people have budgets and limitations.
Yes. And it was like Corey Tran, who does a book called Sokio, who I've reviewed him a couple of times. He suggested I pick up this book. I don't know if you ever heard of it, called Monster. It's a manga.
And it's Urasawa.
I want to say yes.
Yeah, he just did Pluto. Have you guys watched Pluto yet on Netflix?
Oh, it's on Netflix? Okay.
Yeah, Astro Boy sort of reimagined as Silence of the Lambs, and I believe Monster has a Silence of the Lambs feel to it too. So Urasawa's great. He's got a TV show that's not been properly localized, but you can kind of use YouTube translation, and some of them have been subbed. But it's called Monben. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Monben, but it's basically Urasawa talking to these legends of manga and like video footage of them actually drawing. It's super addictive if you want to watch people draw amazingly.
Oh, that's awesome. And I was such a fan of Astro Boy as a kid. I was the creator. It was in black and white, and I used to get up every Sunday morning. It would be on like some UHF station, like UHF kids. It's an extinct form of television. I would watch.
Yeah, Tezuka and Matsumoto, very good friends.
Yeah, okay.
And actually, Matsumoto, one of his first gigs was doing some contract work for Tezuka. So we'll do, some manga history here. I'll try to help out and make the content good.
Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. Yes. Was that Chris? Oh yeah. I mean, I told you feel you with the too poor to have the books. I think Chris Gibson is along with us because when I was growing up, they were like 15 cents and 12 cents, and I still didn't have a lot of money to buy comics. So imagine how poor we were. So I can imagine.
I never bought new comics. I bought the 25-cent comics.
Did you?
At the used bookstore.
Oh, okay.
And there, I think it was like an aesthetic thing for me too, because like I said, Marvel and DC, other than Batman, something about Batman is primal for me. But everyone else, there's something about the aesthetic. I always gravitated more towards anime and manga, which was decidedly more expensive than DC Marvel comic books in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Really? Okay. I assume that they were like a little bit cheaper, but I guess I'm not right on that. Maybe now the price has gone down, or
too, right? They're better quality books, aren't they?
Well, generally they were black and white, right? So different printing expectations there.
True. Yeah, I only own one book, so I can't really say how they go. Yeah,
there weren't a lot of 25-cent anime. Like there was a Manga. There was Ben Dunn drawing, Ninja High School, or all sorts of adaptations. There was like Tenchi Muyo comic books drawn by American artists and stuff like that. Like there's a Captain Harlock one. I interviewed Ben Dunn on my Liegeverse channel a few weeks ago. I don't know if you guys know Ben Dunn, but he's a great guest. And we talked that he did a Captain Harlock comic book for Eternity Comics back around 89, I think. And it was actually, they thought they bought the rights. Malibu Comics bought the rights, but they bought a pirated license for a space pirate comic book animes. Anyways, I could rant about
that sucks
all day, but yeah, wow. It was interesting to talk about.
Yeah. Back to your story, your comic, Toe and So Long. You plan on doing any Comic Cons or any kind of things like that to promote it?
I would love to do more. I would love to tour with cons and things things like that. Right now, it's just not feasible to go out to a lot of different cons. I don't have the right automobile to put all my stuff in and tour the country. Also don't know what I do with my studio here. It might be tough. Sometimes you do think about selling everything and roaming the country, but right now I want to make a comic book.
Bueller.
Do that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
So Kickstarter's been, a huge boon, and Instagram's been a huge boon for the series. And right now that's what I'm doing. Maybe do some local things with local comic book stores, but nothing official as of right now. I'd absolutely love to have a table, because I got some nerd stuff to sell too. I'd have a great table. Liegeverse, random nerd like buy stuff, and then Toe and So Long stuck in there. It would be like a curio shop at the con. I'd love doing something like that.
For sure. I was gonna say, that may be the better better business model right now. I'm thinking I did the whole con thing when I was living in the Midwest. And it was fun. I met people, made a few sales, but you're paying like these huge table fees, and you're trying to break even by selling your books that cost a lot to print. So that'd be kind of an outdated model for young people or people just breaking into comic book making. Kickstarter is the way to go, man. Or if you can do the critical entertainment method that they did, they just built up their whole inventory and then approached Diamond. But not everyone can do that. But Kickstarter, is Indiegogo still a thing, or is that still not around anymore? Maybe
as
not.
long as they're letting me on Kickstarter, I'll be there. If I have to go to Indiegogo, we'll see. There's a lot. There's so many of them now. It's
Kickstarter is the CGC of fundraisers, I want to say. So
it's like I'm gonna number one. I got to learn something. I'm gonna go on Bing.com. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I think that's probably the best way what you're doing right now. But I was just curious about the where are you located, by the way?
Currently, I'm in Utah, coming from Oklahoma, coming from Western Pennsylvania. I've been kind of moving all over the country for work, and doing that kind of design work that I was talking about before. But right now, I'm really focused on the comic book and a lot of the other creative things that I do. I live stream. I draw some of the comic, and then I do the Liegeverse thing, and I'd love to do more. It'd be interesting to do cons, because I'd like to do more vendor stuff. I like buying and selling, books and DVDs and things like that. So I'm slowly getting into that. And, you got to have a lot of different streams of income, basically.
You do.
If you're going to be doing this kind of thing. So
you gotta have
gotta
have a lot of different arrows in the quiver, so to speak. So yeah, you got that that graphic design thing down. That's great, because you know how to make the page look good. That's something a lot of people don't get, even if you're an illustrator. So that's really cool that you can do that.
Design is king, definitely, in my opinion. So, and again, like I said, that's where McFarlane comes from. When I'm building my pages and doing my layouts, I'm doing some, rudimentary, crude figure work. And as I build my figures, I'm looking at circle placement, and I want to hit these law of thirds and these Fibonacci sequences and half.
Oh my God.
Slow.
Yeah. That's stuff I need to work on. Yeah, that's tough stuff. Yeah.
That's like the first part for me. It's the more I'm breaking things down into shapes and layouts, the better for me. The minutia ends up getting a bit headachy. It can get out of hand too, especially as I'm coloring. That's the thing that gets out of hand. I'm like, I put way too many figures on this page. I need to chill out, you know?
Yeah, but man, you got it covered. So tell us where we can see your stuff other than your Kickstarter. You got YouTube and Instagram, and what else do you have?
Yep, YouTube, Instagram, toeandsolong.com, and then that's where you can find me at all those socials. CPT Hardluck, that's where you can find me on YouTube and Twitch. Liagiverse, I will put in the chat at some point here, but that's all over the internet too. I'm the top video when you look up Leiji Matsumoto on YouTube right now. Fingers crossed it's still the case if you're watching this. So, yeah, and I did want to say, like, Toe and So Long, the comic, the story that I'm building here, so inspired by like manga, shonen manga storytelling, you know, dropping people into fantastic worlds and giving them entertaining, curious characters, giving them lots of mystery and giving them lots of answers all the time, just constantly. That was, you know, that was your favorite part of Dragon Ball Z or One Piece or whatever you were watching growing up. You know, what did it ended off, and you were satisfied because you found out why they do something and you don't understand another. And I want to give people lots of mysteries here. So if you go into issue 1 of Toe and So Long, be prepared for mysteries and unraveling and curious adventure. I don't want you to think that this is going to be slow or plotting or, you know, gritty, or it's none of those things. It's light, but I want you to be able to have that light surface. So maybe you'll look a bit deeper and maybe you solve some mysteries on your own.
Hey, well, we're all ready for that mystery and all that adventure. So Toe and So Long, folks. The link is in the chat. The link is down below in the description. Thank you so much for coming on, Jacob. We appreciate you. And,
thank you. And I just want to say, as soon as you guys are done live streaming, I'm actually going to start live streaming, and those videos that were put out today reviewing my comic book, I'm actually going to respond to them and see if I can take the criticism, because I want to start, because I want to communicate what the comic's about, and I think responding to people's concerns might actually give people a much better idea. So if you guys don't mind, I'll put my Twitch in the chat, and
please, absolutely.
I will be live. So thank you so much, Lorenzo and Marcus. You guys do a great show here. And I wish we could have talked more about AI and all sorts of silly things like you were talking about at the beginning.
Dirty traitor. Can we talk about hypocrisy?
We can make AI work for us. Damn it. It's going to be our bitch. It's going to be our slave. Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks, y'all.
Have a great one. Bye-bye. Oh, that's awesome. All right.
Finally, I'm the star where I should be.
Where you've always wanted to be, and you finally arrived. All right. So do you have anything for what's good today, or how about you?
Not.
You don't?
No.
Okay, no worries. I've only got one thing, and if I can go through my linear interface here and find my I could do our promo entry for our little section called What's Good? All right, what's good this week is just one book that I overlooked. It came out, I want to say, months ago. It's been a cool minute since this book came out, called Paladin of Axis. And this is by a guy who I've seen his work before, and I didn't realize it until I looked at the back of the book. Oh, yeah, no wonder I like this book. Written by Gary Dugan, and the artist is David O'Sullivan. And this is on, of course, the House of Ideas on Image. Man, this is about a guy. He was a roadie for this rock band back in the 70s, right? And of course, you know, he's just, the band members are just like total jerks to him. They treat him like shit. You know, they have him go find girls in the audience and bring him back. Hey, Brody, you don't even know his name, you know. And at some point, the band leader, the jerk lead guitarist, buys I think they were in England at the time, and he finds a guy who's going to sell him this sports car, and he finds a sports car for like I guess a song, and I'm going to fly this car back to America with me so I can drive it around and pick up chicks and stuff, and the guy, the roadie, is actually a really great guitar technician. I mean, he's a musician in his own right, but he's just stuck, just maybe basically just tuning up gits and stuff for these assholes who don't even appreciate it. So he's kind of frustrated in that aspect. But then the asshole guitarist, I keep saying asshole, the guitarist doesn't tell the pilot of the plane, which he owns, by the way, just drive the car on there. I own the plane anyway. So they just cold drive the car onto the plane and try to take it back to the US. And all of a sudden, like in the middle of the flight, it's like shit starts happening. Like, did you tell the pilot that you have you tell the pilot that you have a car on board? And the pilot's like, what car? You're not supposed to have a car on board. You're supposed to secure this thing. We check the weight. It's very important to know exactly how much everything weighs, And then the plane crashes. And as the plane crashes, everyone is killed. The wee people come out of the ground, the little leprechauns and shit. They hadn't made it out of the UK yet. So the wee people were there. And the wee people find the roadie. They see he's a good dude. He's all twisted up and dying and everything. So we're gonna take you down to our little lair and hip you up to what's going on down here. We're gonna turn you into something completely different. At first, he's not cool with it, but they convince him to just do this little thing for them. You're gonna become the paladin of axes. You're gonna go looking for cursed instruments because your lead guitar player, who was the total jerk, he was using a cursed axe. He made a deal with the devil. It's just like Robert Johnson at the crossroads. So we want you to go into the world and bring back all these cursed items. And the thing just goes from there. And man, if you can find this book, it's probably in the dollar bin by now. I saw stacks of them at both comic shops. So I think it's very, very good for it's a one shot. It was only like $6.99. Pretty good.
What was the name again?
Paladin of Axes.
Paladin of Axes.
Yeah. This is on Image, and this guy has done. He's also the writer. I said, oh yeah, I remember him now. He's the writer of The Secret History of Weed, The Secret History of all the other stuff that we were talking about.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Gosh McTurnan. Yes. Oh yeah, that's where I know him from. He's the writer on that. So no wonder this is a good book. Look for this book, folks. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. And it's another thing he did here I'm not really up on, but it looks good. This Ends Tonight, also by Gary Dugan. So sleeper, folks.
We got Shop sneaking in. What's up, Shop? Good to see you.
Hey, Shop. Yes.
And Marcus Aurelius is back with us, the Roman emperor. What's up?
I know. Yes. Caligula, and then there was Marcus Aurelius. Yes. Yes, nice. And like in Cub fans, absolutely. I'm going to see the Cubs actually this Friday. They're playing the Mariners. I haven't been to Seattle in a couple of years.
Time out.
Kansas City. What's up with Kansas City, man? They got a pretty good record. They're off to a good start.
I know. I made a lot of money last year betting on them losing, and it's not. This is apparently not the year. They've been playing some decent baseball. We'll see how long it lasts.
They have, but they've been marinating for a while. They got Bobby Witt Jr. and Salvi is still around and hitting homers. So don't sleep on him. Salvi's awesome.
Would be nice to go back to the playoffs. We haven't been since 2015.
It's been a minute since you've been to the playoffs, but that's okay. It's not a hard division. That division can be had. You got the White Sox, the Indians, and who else? Nobody else you can really, it's really to worry about. So good luck with that.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh shoot, I'm sorry. I regressed to the Guardians. Excuse me. I guess the Washington Bullets might be out there too. You know? Any hoozle.
First AI, now this. Jeez.
You slay me, man. All right, let's get down to these indie comics reviews. You might guess the first book that's going to be reviewed is from last week, and that one is Rook. So let's start off with Rook, and let's go from there. All right, this is by Jeff Johns, who I think is going to be writing all three of these books for the upcoming months. I hope he's able to do so. He's probably already planned it out. He had enough workout. So, Rook Exodus. Actually, Rook Exodus #1. It continues the story of Rook, who's this guy who's what they call a warden on this planet that was just left behind by the rich folks and the billionaires who started this mess, who want to leave Earth and start a new planet, but they could mess it up too. And people are still trying to get off this planet. And rocket ships are blowing up like there's no tomorrow because, you know, hey, they're hastily built and they're not that, you know, not that well constructed. And Rook is scavenging parts from those ships so he can build his own ship. He's watching this destruction of a ship, and he's got his birds that he controls, the rooks and crows and such. And he finds one survivor who's just bound to die. He's been stitched by this big piece of metal, and he hands him this envelope. And he says, "Don't let them burn." And that's all he says. Before you know it, a giant grizzly bear. I don't know what the grizzly bears are eating though, you know? And nobody's growing but the grizzly bear. But I digress. So after he escapes the grizzly bear, he goes back to his place where he crashes, which is like in the middle of the deserted city. And the artwork on this thing is just so beautiful and intense, man, and detailed. I would cry if I had to make this much detailed artwork. And we finally get a peek behind the mask of Rook. And we see he's a man who's been through a lot. He's got scars and everything, and he's reflecting back on his time before all this happened. And when he opens the envelope that the guy gave him, it's a picture of the guy and his family. And it makes him think about the life he left behind back on Earth. And he was once a farmer. So they made him an offer. They bought his farm from him and his dad and said, hey, well, you know, the ship's leaving and you got to go get on it if you want to survive. So even though he had to leave everything behind, he got on the ship, left it all behind, and came to this planet. And then the shit just went south in a short amount of time. And he has a buddy also who is in charge of all things swine related, called Swine, of course. And Swine is, he found some supplies because people left some stuff behind, like food and whiskey and things like that. So he was, they were kicking back and enjoying it. And then they have this thing happen at the end where they were being attacked by some forces. I don't want to give it away, but there's some shit going down at the end. There's also a character called Direwolf. I think that may have been Rook's love interest at one point, but they're kind of on the outs right now. Man, this is something that I think a lot of y'all probably read this already. But man, if you have not, check out Rook. I mean, this is it's gotta be a 40 some page book for $3.99. This is the biggest one. Yeah.
High quality paper.
Yep. Cardstock. It can be done. It can be done. Don't let them tell you otherwise. So this is the biggest one. Redcoat was probably the second biggest, and Geiger was like pretty much normal size, but all for $3.99, you know, so you just can't beat that. So check out Rook if you can find it, and I'm sure you can because it is awesome. All right. Next one is, of course, Redcoat. Redcoat, also from Jeff Johns. Oh, that magnificent artwork, by the way, is from Jason Fabak, which don't let me sell him short, because Jason Fabak's artwork is just putting folks to shame here. This is an awesome artwork. All three of the artists have similar styles, and they're all super detailed, and they're all awesome. So you just can't go wrong. All right, so let's talk about the Redcoat. The Redcoat, to me, is kind of the most fun book. It kind of takes license, it takes chances, and it has this guy who's kind of a lovable scoundrel. The Redcoats, don't you know? And it's back in the 1700s is when he begins. It begins with the first ride of Paul Revere, 1775. Paul Revere's going through the town, and British are coming, yada, yada, yada. But Paul, to a band of thuggish Redcoats, who pulls him off his horse and gives him a good ass whipping. And it's not a pretty sight. You think that he's never going to finish his ride and never going to become a famous silversmith, but he is all of a sudden saved by John Hancock. Yes, the guy who's famous for signing his name first, John Hancock. And Hancock tells him that, you know what, we're going to be all right. You know why? Because we got magic on our side. Well, there's more to it than that, but that's coming up later. Let me fast forward to a year later, around Christmas time, when Simon Pure, the Redcoat, is on the run for his life, once again for some shit he probably did and deserved to be killed for. But he's hiding in a barn, and he sees this ritual. It's like a Masonic, one would say almost, maybe not satanic, but definitely from the a supernatural kind of a deal. And Ben Franklin is on the table naked, and he's about to get eternal life. But Mr. Pure falls in there and fucks all that up, and he gets the eternal life. But he gets killed right away, because he can be killed, but he always comes back. You just can't die, which is kind of a curse in a way, I guess, but it's a blessing. Eventually, he meets a young Albert Einstein, a young, like, preteen Albert Einstein, who digs him up. And after that, all kinds of fun and crazy adventures ensue. And man, I can't wait to see more of this, because the Redcoat to me is like, they're all great, but I think this may have the biggest upside for popularity with the masses. But you can't go wrong with any of these books, man. Redcoat #1. The artist on this one is Brian Hitch. We all know how awesome he is. He's done a lot of stuff. He's super detailed as well. So, man, it's an all Ghost Machine. I would say Ghost World. Ghost Machine review here. And the last one is going to be, of course, the one that started all. That's going to be Geiger. Here we go. Geiger, the man himself. This one is drawn by Gary Frank. And we pick up 25 years from now. Geiger is in this town. The earth has been contaminated beyond almost belief. And there's these thugs, as you might imagine. There's these like warlords ruling all the wasteland. And they come to the town. They see Geiger. They start beating up the locals. And Geiger just goes off on them and gives them what they deserve. But in a show of no good deed goes unpunished, the townspeople ask him to leave because, hey, we don't want the heat from you being here going, man. So you're welcome. Thanks for saving our ass, but get the fuck out. So him and Barney, his two-headed dog, hit the road. And they're back doing their thing and camping out in the wilderness. And there's this guy who was introduced back in the early Geiger days. He was the Atomic Knight, because Las Vegas had been turned into this kingdom, this little kingdom run by this jerk who was turned it into his whole like Middle Ages kind of a theme. So the Knight is following Geiger because he's got nowhere else to go. And he tells a pretty sad, compelling story. And then they're attacked by these army guys who somehow figured a way to track the glowing man. They can track his electricity, his radioactivity. So they're tracing him around the world, I guess, around at least the United States where Geiger is, and they're trying to get him for some reason. And the Atomic Knight lets slip that there is also another individual out there who may have had the same thing happen to him as Geiger. So Geiger and the Atomic Knight set out to find this dude. And that's where it pretty much leaves off without giving away any more of the ending. You touched on it a lot last week, Marcus, but man, this Geiger thing is just getting better and better. It's the smallest book, but it leaves you wanting more. you know. And Gary Frank's artwork is on par with all the other guys. Man, he's picked the perfect artist to go with his writing, and the story is like, I wouldn't say they're all ages, but I guess they're books that are kind of in the mold of the classic superhero books, but not superheroes. It's just good. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff for a good price, and buy these books if you have not already. And man, that's all I got to say about that. That's
all three have sold out at the distribution level, so they will be going to second print. The first one to sell out, however, was Redcoat. So as you said in your review, Redcoat does seem to be the one that has the most legs. If you look, Redcoat's first appearance was back in the 80-page Geiger, or no, was it called Geiger 80-page Giant?
I think it was an 80-page Giant. Yeah. They got the two of them have like the checks at the top, the way that DC used to have back in the day. Yeah.
So there was one of the variant covers was Redcoat's first cover appearance, along with his first appearance, and apparently that book's going for $40 on eBay at cover Giant price. So I have cover price integrated with my CLC, and so it upgraded that book to $40. But you can't trust cover price in CLC because it'll show a crazy price in the app, but when you go to the website, it shows a normal price. And so I was like, oh, okay, let me go look. I'm sure it's going to show a normal price, but no, it showed that same price. I was like, oh wow, so Redcoat hype is real. You partially showed it in your review, but there's that one scene where he's jumping through that window, and it says something like magnificent in retreat. Am I not? And I just I love that. I just loved that panel, and it really caught what we're all gonna love about this character. And I definitely think of the three, Geiger's my favorite still, but of the three books, Redcoat seems to have the legs to be a lot of fun. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, but when Redcoat, I want to see Redcoat and Northerner interact and shit on each other. I'm sure the Northerner absolutely despises Redcoat, right?
Probably.
And so I cannot wait for that. That's gonna be fun.
The friction between those two. I wonder what the Northerner may be immortal as well. We don't know that yet.
I think he is immortal. Yes, I think that is the case. Yeah, obviously he's obviously been around since the Civil War, so he's got to be immortal.
It makes sense. Yeah. So imagine the nonstop banter between two people who hate each other who are immortal. You know, that's just
who have had run-ins over centuries. You know, this is gonna be fun.
The possibilities are endless for that. So yeah, that's awesome. That is a great week for reviews with those three books coming out at one time, man. I was just
Geiger #1 is up to $10 now. So there's a little heat on it right now with the release of the Ghost Machine, but it's $10. It's still cheap, man. So jump in. It's ground level still.
Still cheap. Get it now. Well, it's hot. All right, let's talk about next week's books, shall we? All right. I don't think Nightwing number 113 / number 200 already came out, or was I wrong about that?
The 113 definitely hasn't come out yet. I don't know what the legacy number. I don't know the legacy number.
The legacy is 300. Excuse me, number 300 here. Let me share the tab here. Yeah, this is another one of those cool covers. I want to say it's from your guy Redondo. Excuse me.
Redondo, yeah, Bruno Redondo.
Yeah.
I like it. I really like his art in this book. I really do.
He does a great Nightwing, and there's some other good covers too. This is Dan Mora doing the B cover.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
I ordered this. I usually just get the A cover for Nightwing now, but I actually ordered this one too.
I'm going to get that one. I didn't order that one, but yeah, I like that. The Boy Wonder becomes Nightwing. That's awesome.
Absolutely loved
it. So we've heard. This one is Jamal Campbell, who's done so many good covers for DC. This is interesting here. Yeah.
I almost got that one, but I didn't.
Did you?
almost did though. It's cool.
The Serge Acuna one is pretty cool too. But it just even makes that old original Nightwing costume look good. That first costume, yeah, not great.
I don't like the old costume, so if he
I
was in
know,
his
that's
new
what I'm saying.
costume, I would have been more likely to buy this. But with the old costume, I just don't. I really hate that costume. I really
hated it. Yeah. I think maybe it's a shout out to George Perez who created it, you know. So maybe just
the new costume looks 1,000% better.
1,000%. I could not agree with you more. All right. Then we got Batman, Superman's World's Finest, which looks like we're going to get a new appearance of not Batmite, but some other might in that one. It's been a good book so far.
I don't know. My first encounter was Bitewing or whatever in Nightwing, and I don't know how I feel about all the little demon stuff.
Little stuff for the kids. I'm just making
that's the thing, right? That's like we desperately need kids in this comic book space, but anything geared towards kids, we absolutely hate. It's a weird conundrum there.
Yeah, it is. This is us. Mojo. Yes, we had definitely a strange world. Oh yeah. He's done the heavy lifting. He's got those great artists backing him up. That's awesome. All right. Miles comes out next week, number 19. How long before they reboot him? Won't be long, huh?
I might Wonder Woman. If they do, I might jump
I would hate that. I would hate that because he already had like about 4 series already, and he's only been around 10 years. And they kind of allude to that, I think, in that book I liked last week and What's Good, Spider-Man with him and Peter. They kind of like wink, like, oh, yeah. How long have I been around? I don't know. It seems like maybe 10 years, you know. And Peter said, I feel like I've been around like 60 years. You know, it's kind of like, you know, wink. Ultimate Black Panther number 3 comes out. Avengers Twilight. That has been so excellent.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. That'll be one that I'm reading on New Comic Book Day for sure. And these Alex Ross covers are just,
oh my God.
I've loved every single one of them, man. Every single one.
He is the man. He can do no wrong. I mean, talk about guys been doing superhero covers in watercolor for longer than I can remember. This is the female Hawkeye. Yeah, she's a badass. She's in, and I wish she ever takes the full costume because she defected from the military when she found out the military was messed up. But that's a very interesting character. I would love to see more behind these characters. I know it says how many series, how many issues. It looks like it's going to be 6-issue series. So the 6th one is solicited. Oh, you see the Hulk. Oh my God. Shit might go south in number 6 because the Twilight Hulk is there. I think Hulk may or may not be down with the government, which the government is like totally messed up with the Avengers and little Tony Stark's son, who's a jerk. What do we got here? We got Lightning Bolt. We got CFA. Cafu? What is Cafu? CAFU. Same to you, buddy.
Aurelius, come to the dark side. Can come over. Indie books are where it's at. I love that Daniel Acuna cover. I might need to buy that one.
I think you do. I might need to buy this CAFU variant just to see what the hell that means. It looks pretty good too. With Jimmy Stark, little Jimmy Stark is Iron Man. He's become a real jerk. And Cap's got his power back. He's got a shield. The Daniel Acuna cover is this one.
Ooh, it's not sold out. Sure, I'll take one.
Ooh, yeah. It's got Hawkeye on there too.
Have you watched X-Men 97 at all on Disney?
Don't spoil. We've only watched the first 2. I'm trying to get we're trying to finish Mrs. Smith first with on Amazon before we get back into X-Men 92. But I heard some shit happened on it.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of it, but I was gonna wait and watch. I was gonna wait and watch all of it, but everybody reacting to episode 5 is telling me I need to go and watch it.
Yeah, that's why I say okay. I gotta like tune out from the community saying this is happening.
Spoilers. Go watch it now and avoid spoilers because apparently it's heavy. It's going to make you it's going to be very hard. You're going to cry, and it's not even the season finale, which is crazy.
Jesus Christ, it's so good though, man. The first two were great. I mean, you can tell they put a lot more work into this than just your average Saturday morning cartoon.
I hope they're learning something for the MCU, man. They got to get that mojo back, baby.
Well, MCU may be phoning it in now that they've ended with the last round of Endgame and all that, Endgame and all that stuff. So they'll come watch anything,
That's the fun thing, Captain, is you don't need to afford it. You just buy it anyway. I can't afford it either. I still do it though.
Easy for you to say.
Hashtag buy more comics. Hashtag say yes to FOMO.
Say yes to FOMO. There's some people out there who are like campaigning hard against FOMO, man. What do you mean?
Buy more comics.
Buy more comics. BMC. Damn
Marcus, I bet Lorenzo has. I don't know anything about Johnny Quest though.
Oh my God, I wish I did. You see the original Johnny? I thought you meant the comic books. Yeah. I wish I had that Gold Key first appearance of Johnny Quest in comics. That's worth a lot. I love Johnny Quest, man. I don't know how Johnny Quest has not been made into a live action movie. Maybe something to do with the rights, but love Johnny Quest. I mean, that shit. I mean, the Mummy, the episode where the Mummy comes to that when I was a kid, that scared the shit out of me. the dramatic music and everything when it was walking. Oh, love it. All right, so what else we got? We got there's a Wonder Woman. Tom and King is killing that.
People are raving about that one. Like, yeah, I feel FOMO for that book. The way people talk about it, they're saying it's so good.
Now, hey, you just had this man on. Scotty just had this man. Oh, sorry, not Scotty. Roscoe just had this man on the show, and damn. This is why I'm addicted to David Nakayama. I'm so glad I got to just tell him to his face. I'm addicted to your covers. I blame you. I'm buying books I don't even read. I know that's taboo in comics. Don't care. Some books I just buy. Is Nakayama, is DNA doing the cover? Okay, I gotta have it. I just love his style, man. This is like Catwoman with the kitty cat helmet on in space. This is just so retro and so modern in the same breath. 9 Lives Part 6.
That was the main thing I had to cut out, is to not. I will cover or buy a book, but only books I'm
reading. Yeah. I'm probably gonna have to get to that point too. I'm getting like it's a little bit too many. This is Inhyuk Lee. Inhyuk Lee was no slouch in his own right, but this the cat. The look on the cat's face is pretty precious.
I love Inhyuk, but I don't know about this one. I'm not really feeling that one.
I think it's cute. I think the cat is cute. Spider-Man number 2. I don't know if I was going to. In fact, I know I'm not going to follow this series, but the first issue was good. I like the fact that the first issue is only $3.99. Thank you, Marvel, for not making it $4 or $5.99. Okay, so maybe we'll see. But the first issue was good. Peter and Miles hanging out at the Coffee Bean, and of course, shit breaks out, and they have to fight the Jackal Hulk. But it was still a fun read. Spider-Boy, I want to read that, but I've heard it's not great. I know this character is going to be around because it's a great character. I'm waiting for a good writer to get on Spider-Boy. I'm waiting for like Chip or somebody to get on Spider-Boy. Someone like that. Cobra Commander. I have not read the latest issue, number 3. I need to check that out. Now, Batman Off-World. Have you read any of those, or have you seen any of those?
I'm not on that one. No,
not on that one.
There's enough Batman. I follow Batman. That's enough Batman for me.
Yeah, I know. But
First Night now.
And First Night. Yeah, Batman. Yeah, I got Batman, Detective, and First Night. That's all I can handle right now. That's all I can handle. But Batman Off-World is very well drawn by Doug Mahnke, and there's a first appearance of the Thongarian in here, which is probably going to be like a Hawkman kind of a character. But I'm going to pass. Animal Pound, number 3 is coming out. I like that a lot.
I feel like has it been monthly? I feel like there's been gaps in this book.
I like that though, because usually Tom King is a pretty wordy read, and I'm already 2 books behind on Love Everlasting, so I gotta give a little bit of a cushion to catch up on. Even though he's a great writer, it takes a while to process it.
It's every other month, yeah.
Excellent. I love that.
It's only 4 issues.
Is that right? I'll take that.
That's all it's showing. That's all it's showing on League.
Yes, right. In space, no one can hear you meow. Makes me feel so good, Mojo. I don't hate myself as much now. I have so many books. I'm not the only one.
Mojo,
I know.
You're encouraging. You're enabling him. I picked up Helen of Windhorn. My shop had Helen of Windhorn.
Did you get a chance to read it?
I have not read it. I actually looked inside, and I like how it looks, but I have not got a chance to read it yet.
It looks great.
I picked that one up off your review. I was like, yeah, I probably should have got that one. Of course, the biggest Tom King fan of all says it's a good book. No surprise there.
Yes, Captain Hardluck.
Is he your favorite writer right now? That's fair to say, isn't it?
He's in the top 2 or 3, yeah. If he's not my favorite, yeah.
He's got to be favorite though.
Chip is there, still doing a good job, I think. Mr. Horvath, who's doing Beneath the Trees, is doing a hell of a job in that. So
is that his first one, or has he done something else that he's done? Beneath the Trees.
I'm not sure. I mean, I was betting that he's probably got a background in children's books. But as I always say, I
don't have facts to back this up.
Hey, what up, Mike? Good to see the homie Mike, and we got Stapled Spine in the house.
Hey, Mike.
The PNW is represented.
Hey, Jack. Jack and Mike, good to see you guys. Getting sucked back into a weekly pull list and planning a Washington State visit. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys, man. Looking forward to seeing it. As soon as I get out, pull me back in. Yes, that's the way it works, bro.
I got hopes and dreams of heading that way for an Emerald City Con one of these days. So
I got hopes and dreams of seeing you, my friend, either here or in the Midwest.
Or at C2E2, yeah.
Hell of a Windhorn, number 2, folks. Get that number 1. Get that number 1. And Moon Man. I'm glad it's coming out like late. Maybe they didn't intend it for it to do so, but I'm glad it is, because I like Moon Man number 1. And man, that's not getting a lot of love, unfortunately. A lot of copies unsold in the shop. So check out Moon Man. That's by Kid Cudi.
Yeah, I need to read it and decide if I want to get to, because I'm not
sure.
You should. We got Rabid Waffles in the house, which is a hell of a name.
There's no such thing.
So long had good artwork and an interesting concept. I just hope in the next comic we see more about the character's backstory and personality. So Captain Hardluck, if you're there, that's what the people.
I'm sure he's listening. I'm sure he's listening. The man is in the chat.
And Rabid live stream. I put the link in the chat, but he's going to be going live, looking at some people responding to his stuff. So if you want to take it up with the man himself, be plugged into that on twitch.com.
Yes, sir. All right, so there's a couple of different covers here. See what he talks about. After issue 1, I am beyond hype with this book, says the Comic Bennett. It's the date for this one wrong. Let me see. It was back in February, so yeah, it was probably late. But there's some people who are hyped for it.
I had the idea that was one of your homies. I had a hint.
Hey, gotta have homies. It's Greg Torcini. I like this. Yeah, this concept of that other person was hyped for it. I'm hyped for it too, man. The art is great, and I'm usually not. I mean, Kyle Higgins is also co-writing with Kid Cudi. I think that may have something to do with it. Kyle Higgins is a great world builder and writer. So
yeah, you always, whenever that happens, though, right? Like these celebrities, they never write the book themselves. They're always like Keanu's writing it with Matt Kent. You got Kyle writing it with. So like you always wonder, is like, all right, who's the real writer here? You know?
Well, my guess is the real writer, quote unquote, real writer is doing the heavy lifting, and the ideas are coming from the celebrity. So and they try to make it all cohesive and work in the story. That would be my guess.
There's a lot of people who bought that book because Kid Cudi was on it, including myself. I would not have bought that book if Cudi's name was not attached to it.
You still have to read it though, right? So
yeah. I don't know if I'm going to buy the second one. Yeah, we'll see.
Give it let me know what you think after you read it. Giant Size Hulk's coming out. Someone asked about Kill Your Darlings in another chat, but I didn't. I only read the first one and I liked it.
C Bizzle, I think.
Yeah, and I couldn't, I couldn't comment because I only read the first one, but it's on number 8 now, so I'll probably just trade it, do that trade thing. Something epic.
It's had some nice covers on that book.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna just skip Giant Sized Hulk. What's up? We're PKJ.
Well, okay, we can take a look.
No, I'm doing.
No worries.
We could just mention it. PKJ.
PKJ.
11 come out this week. I need to read it still. I'm caught up though. It's the only one I haven't read. And then I think this is going to be a direct continuation. It also mentions that it has a reprint of Hulk 372 included in it. So little facts about that.
Oh, it sure does. Okay. By Peter David and Dale Keown, featuring in high-speed action and heart-rending drama in a Hulk tale for the ages. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's been a different kind of Hulk book. I mean, I don't know Hulk books, but it feels like a different kind of Hulk book. But I'm digging it, man. I like PKJ. It's one of Beckerman's homies.
Oh my God. This is my God, who is this again? This is Chris Allen, the Stormbreaker. What is up with the Hulk here?
Is that the Hulk or is that Abomination or something?
It's a hulked out character that looks. Yeah, it's got Hulk. Yeah, it's got Hulk tattooed on his fingers like he's been in the joint. Yeah, I mean, just like his interpretation of Jail Hulk. This is Jail Hulk. You thought the regular Hulk was bad? Jail Hulk is going to kick your ass. This is Dave Barden. This one, a lot of people probably won't like this, but it's cute. I like it. The cat over here with 2 faces. Who's the 2-Face? Who's the 2-Face dude? 2-Face on the same head.
Yeah, I think if you're a longtime Hulk fan and you know who every single one of those people are, you probably are pretty hyped about that.
Oh, if you know who everyone is on this cover, give yourself a no prize. Yes, absolutely.
Honestly, all right, I don't know if I could name 2 people on there.
You're not by yourself, bro. Blue Book, 1947, number 3. That's good for some. Frank at the shop was saying like either people love that book or they have no interest in it, and I'm one of the people that love it, so I'm in that category. Okay, TMNT is this is not it. This is the Untold Destiny of the Foot Clan. It's a different one that I'm thinking of. The Displays number 3. I haven't read number 1 yet. I probably should do that because number 3 is out already. It might be good.
Oh, see, I don't know what the By Beast is.
Hey,
but Jackson here dropping knowledge on us. That was By Beast.
Okay.
Never heard of him.
Oh, the By Beast. I love that name too. That's pretty cool.
Is he bisexual? Yeah, Mike.
Well, let's not get into his personal life. Yes, Mike. Something Epic was great. Absolutely. I thought it was done too. I gotta get the trade on that one too. And Kudransky he's a killer artist. All right, Penthouse Comics number 2. If you're checking that out, it's coming out next week. A little bit of soft core.
You dirty sluts.
Bomb chicka bomb bomb. All right.
I have Pornhub. Thank you. I'm good.
That's the thing is, dirty magazines are so yesterday. It's so retro.
Why would you ever? Yeah.
Oh, I tell you, blown away #1. Let me take a quick look at that. I think that might be something. Somehow it maybe got under my radar. Oh yes, it's the Zach Thompson joint. That's where I thought about getting it. And Annie Wu is doing the cover. Oh, I love Zach Thompson stuff.
Can you woo woo woo?
Exactly. Oh wow. This is about a wildlife photographer isolated and cold.
Yeah, I remember reading this one at FOC, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. That's why I love Thompson's stuff, but I didn't pick this one. I could be wrong about it. Cemetery Kids Don't Die. However, I did like that. You didn't care for it that much.
Sometimes I use my imagination just to see if I still got it.
Oh my God. Totally. That'd be to May. Oh, I know you're all into all the 39 crossover issues though, bruh. Are you gonna get all 39? I don't know. Maybe you just follow the Blade storyline. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just probably get the main series. I've already ordered #1.
Yeah, I was gonna pass on it, but maybe I shouldn't. If Stapled Spine is a hype for it, why am I not hype for it? Maybe I should.
He's a horror guy.
I don't do Marvel events, is why, but maybe I should do this one.
I don't know. I know I'm not going to do all 39 crossovers, but I'll probably do some of them for sure. I probably will. Elvira meets H.P. Lovecraft. That should be fun, huh? I don't know. What do you think, Jack? Is that the one that you're reading? I think you're reading one of those. That might be the one that you're reading. Under Heist #3. I got to read #2 to see if I want to get into #3. Lot of second prints.
Reverend Waffles is still going. You're a little late for the interview there, bud.
Catch you on the replay. Oh, yes. Catch you on the replay. Support the man's comics.
I think you should watch the stream that he's going to have after this stream and ask your questions there. That's what I think you should do.
Absolutely. Oh, yes. The Red Band is one I ordered, Jack. Red Band. Yeah. The actual blood. I ordered one copy of that one.
What is that? Is that English? I don't understand that sentence.
What QST?
They're releasing the QST Ever Red Band. I don't know what QST and Red Band means.
I know what Red Band means. Red Band is the Blood Hunt crossover with the vampires and Blade and all that. There's an issue called the Red Band issue, which is I guess too gory for prime time, and you can buy that one. It's got a red band around it. Spell check, and it has a red band around it to let you know that this is the most gory one as opposed to the
I'm not gonna lie, that makes me want it.
That's what I'm saying. I want the red band.
If my shop has the book, because my shop puts those books up next to the thing, so if it has like nude or rated R next to the book, I'm like, yeah, say less.
Yeah, buddy.
Say less, buddy. Go ahead and give it to me.
I know. What was Spider-Man #2, third printing? There could be lots and lots of third printing. I just bought the fourth printing today, didn't I? Or was it the fifth printing? I don't know. Is this accurate? I don't know. Not sure. Not sure.
Stapled, you just changed my mind, man. That sounds. If you're trying to gimmick me into buying it, you did.
Yeah, man, the Red Band is the goriest comics Martin Marvel was ever released, and that's saying something. It was Martin, well, not really, because they've never released a gory comic. So I take that back. It's a first, so it could be I don't know, they're gonna be having Wolverine showing actually him gutting people for real or some shit.
I guess I'm pulling Blunt Hut now. Do I need to order this to make sure I can get it? Maybe I should.
If you can get it ahead of time, I would. I ordered mine like 2 months ago, it seems. Well, it should be ready to come out real soon.
If I red band, will that get it?
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
T-Fall's probably got it. This Image Comic 7174 AD. This is the art of I don't know if you know who this guy is or not. This is the art of the writing of T.P. Louise and the art of Ashley Wood. Now, there are several Ashley Woods in comics. One of them is a female named Ashley Woods with an S on the end, and there may be more than one Ashley Wood also in there. So if you're looking for to collect this person's stuff, it's on 48 pages of newsprint for $4.99. So Ashley Wood fans, listen up. I know you're out there. All right, coming down the line here, we're Dudley Watson and the Forever Machine. Ooh, how did I miss that one? Just a quick peek on that one. That's a hell of a name.
Just a little quick peek.
Just a quick peek.
Show us too.
Exactly. Oh, hang on. Easy. New York Times bestseller Scott Snyder and Jamal Eagley comes a erotically sci-fi adventure story about a boy, his dog, and a machine that controls time and space. What could go wrong? Absolutely nothing. Put the dog in charge of the time machine. That'd be great. All right. Okay. I may have pre-ordered this. It sounds like something I might, because Scott Snyder is a person I might check out from time to time, but there's absolutely no commentary whatsoever about it. So, but it looks like some nice covers. It's a Cliff Chang version cover. I love Cliff Chang's art too.
I like Scott Snyder.
Me too. Oh, this is so tight. I love this. I love this. Cliff Chang. Is this open order? It might be like, I think it's open order. It looks like, yeah. And that's the nicest one I like so far. Yeah, Kari Randolph. That's a nice one too. See, I might have to check this. Damn you! I might have to check this out.
You got yourself.
Right. I know. I did it to myself. You played yourself. All right. Another Assassin's Creed book is coming out. Another reprint of Infinite Earths #1. I may have to get that. I don't have the #1 at this time, but I'm looking for it.
Wraparound foil.
It is. Ooh. It's only $5.99. Yeah, that's not bad. Sometimes the foils are like $10 or some shit, you know. Let me see. I love foil comics, but every comic doesn't have to be a foil comic. Okay, just stop. You know, certain beautiful covers look nice in foil. I don't have to have everything in foil just because you want to make it and try to sell it to me for $10. There, I said it.
Life is an open door. What's
coming up? Ultimate Black Panther #2, second printing coming out. Oh, and Punk Mambo. I know you know about this, Jack. Punk Mambo, associate of the Shadow Man, gets her own one-shot here. 56 pages of content, cardboard cover, metallic foil, $12.99. It's a little pricey. It's a little pricey.
Well, I kind of liked him.
Exactly. Peter Milligan writing it. So this is what making me. I hope I pre-ordered this because if I did, I get 30% off. If I don't, I got to pay the full 13. I might pay the full 13.
He had that magazine size book, God of Tremors. You remember that one? I like that book. That was good.
He's done some good stuff. I like his he done Shade the Changing Man and Ecstatic in the Marvel universe and Hellblazer at some point. So yeah, the writing should be good. I mean, Punk Mambo is a great character, and I'm gonna look for this. If I can afford it, I'll buy it.
Afford it, schmort it.
It's only $13. Wrap that shit up. Give it to me. All right, what else we got here? My Little Pony, I don't think so. Punk Mambo is I want to say that's what it was. Yeah. So that's it. It's not it, but I tell you what it is time for. It is time for the penultimate book. And we're gonna check that baby out right now. It is time for the penultimate book. And this week, that book is called Love Me. Love me. Love me. Love me. Love my ugly face. All right.
Look, Lorenzo's the colorist, guys. Look.
Am I the colorist? Am I the colorist down here? Let me see.
Oh, that's all we can see is Lorenzo.
Oh, God.
Caramella. Dang it.
I thought I was the colorist. Damn it. I
Dang
was in my
it.
sleep, but didn't remember. Yes, the colorist. That's me. All right. So let's what do we know about this book, Love Me? Well, let me tell you. I've got a little thing here as I go through my linear process and find the find a little blurb about it.
Can you dig it?
That's right. Mad K, baby. Mad K rules. They rule. Come on with all kinds of good stuff. Yes. And New York City, sometime in the far future, where robots like JoJo have taken over the task humans no longer want to perform, like driving a taxi. JoJo is pretty happy with his lot in life, but he feels as though something is missing. Then he meets Gilda and it's love at first sight. But the course of true love is a bumpy one, and JoJo is going to find out firsthand when he discovers that Gilda is entangled with the mafia that runs his beloved city, and they're very much against this potential union for their own reasons. Watch out, JoJo. Get back, JoJo, to where you once belonged. Yeah. I mean, that the mafia is like trying to stop this interspecies romance. Man, what's not to love about that, huh? And it's from Mad Cave, so I'm sure it's probably awesome.
That does sound cool.
Yeah. Good to see you, Boar. Thanks for dropping by. A pleasure, as always, my friend.
Happy birthday again, homie. Have a good one.
Happy birthday, yes. And to you and Willie, happy birthday. Yeah, so, man, this is something right here, man. This is, and the art as I see it from Stefano Cartacelli. What have they done that I remember? I can't remember what they've done, but they've done a lot of stuff that I love. So I think this is something I'm definitely going to pick up. If I haven't pre-ordered already, shame on me. But I love this, like in the same way, in a different way, I should say, like Brian Hitch and those guys that are doing the Geiger stuff. This is in an indie kind of a way, it's the same kind of complexity. And man, it's just hard to do, man. And they got the perspective and everything down, but it's just a different style. And this one is done by Nimit Malavia, I want to say. Hope I'm doing that correctly. And the cab driving robot, man, sure. Look at him, his little rose. Isn't that cute? You got a rose for a sweetie. Yes. All right. So that's it, folks. That's the penultimate book for this week. Sometimes it can be hit or miss, but the last few weeks have been the penultimate books have been pretty good. So
been hitting it.
They've been hitting it. Not quitting it. All right, so what else we got? Spectacular Spider-Man #1, second printing. That was such a good book. They printed it twice. Avengers Twilight, third printing. I'm gonna get that one too. And also number 1, I should say. Yeah, so that's a key book. They reprinting the Batman First Night #1, second printing of that with the cover from the first issue, the B cover from the first issue. Or was it the C cover? Critical Entertainment, Life is an Open Door. They were our guests last week.
Kind of high on the list too. I like how high on the pull list they are.
Yeah. Yeah, head of Batman the First Night, second printing. Yeah, and everything else is pretty much in the big upper territory now.
Ahead of Conan, yeah. I mean, I'm impressed, man.
This Amazing Spider-Man facsimile is way down the list. Man, wasn't high ordered at all. Man's Best #1, second printing, way down at the bottom, but it was a good book nonetheless. Dutch #3, still got to read that #1. I know it's a thing from the past, but it looks like it might be kind of a fun book. But our last thing we want to take a look at before everybody goes to sleep is Wicked Tales #1 looks good too. But what I want to look at is The Loop, where Chicago rocks. There was a radio station back in the day. 95.6, The Loop, where Chicago rocks. All right, The Loop.
Magic 108. That was my radio station in St. Louis.
Magic 108.
Magic 108.
It's like one of those grinding things where you put on when you bring a girl over.
Back when 4 men could ride in a car and play some R&B music and there was nothing gay about it. I miss those days. Miss those days. Bring them back.
That's right. Yes, Chris. Yes, black types on them. Look, yep. Without being too dark and brooding. Yes. FemForce. I don't know about FemForce. The Loop, where Chicago does not rock, but it's instead a gripping tale of terror and survival in the aftermath of tragedy. Becky, hiding amidst the horror of a school shooting, fights for her life as friends fall around her. Ellie, a survivor haunted by relentless visions, sees the dead bodies accumulating in the school's dark corridors. In this stark and poignant narrative, The Loop explores the harrowing impact of violence on the living and the dead. Man, this is like a heavy subject here. I mean, anyone who owns children, anyone who has children, or anyone
own mine.
You own yours. How many more payments to go before you own them?
Bought and paid for, bro.
Bought and paid for. The delivery charge that they get you though, that's high.
Maintenance fees.
Maintenance fees too. Yeah, but this is I'm curious about this. I'm not sure if I pre-ordered it, but man, I would be interested in reading this book just to see how they tackle this this pretty heavy subject about school shootings, which is just the most ridiculous, nightmarish thing you can ever think of.
Yeah, I don't want to think about school.
I know. I just have to, you know me, man. I have to make the hard choices sometimes, but I know they own you. That's right.
Hey, Damien,
they own you.
What's up, Damien?
Damien, been here. You're always here. Always here. In spirit, if not in body. All right. Hey, well, I guess that's going to do it. That's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thanks so much for everyone who popped in. Thanks to our guest, Jacob, who stopped by and talked about his creation, Toe and So Long. Be sure to help fund #2 down there in the chat and down there below and everything. Yeah, and next week
he'll be going live as soon as
he's going live. That's right. So we hold them up.
So Rabid Waffle, give him the business tonight. Let him know how you feel about it.
Give him the business. Yes. So I guess that's going to do it. And we'll be back again next week. I'll have some more AI music for your enjoyment, and we can enjoy all this stuff. Yeah. So, man, this has been a ball this week. Got a lot of books to read, a lot of stuff to catch up on. Got to finish my drawing from from Roscoe's channel, and man, and a ball game's coming up this Friday. Life is good, You can't complain, man. So until next time, love all you guys. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next time. Peace and love.
We love you, Denver! City by the Bay! John Denver!